Hello, BookTube. I wanted to know Nonfiction November is coming up, which is a yearly event. And one of the people that puts it on is Olive, A Book Olive. That's the name of her channel, A Book Olive. And there's going to be 4 challenges. One of them is pastime or pastimes. 2, self or shelf. 3 is wander or wonder. And 4 is micro or macro. Now you can do those challenges or you don't have to. Basically the point is to get people to read more nonfiction. And I was looking at my bookshelves and I seem to have a lot of nonfiction that I haven't read yet. And so I just picked some off my shelf. Well, some of them are. One of them is in an audiobook from audio.com, which is the first one I'm going to share with you. Under the Flaming Sky by Daniel James Brown. September 1st, 1894, 2 forest fires converged on the town of Hinckley, Minnesota, trapping over 2,000 people. In all, more than 400 people died, leading to revolution in forestry management and practices. Well, this summer we've had a lot of fires where I lived. So just, I don't know, it just kind of looked really interesting, something I wanted to read. So anyway, and that's what I'm gonna download from Audible. That's the only one of these that I haven't pre-owned yet. So that isn't on my shelf or already on my Kindle. Let's see, the assassination of the Archduke. The assassination of the Archduke, Great King and Sue Woolman, drawing on unpublished letters and rare primary source, King and Woolmans tell the true story behind the tragic romance and brutal assassination that sparked World War I. Yeah, and he and his wife, I think a lot of us know a little bit about this from our history class. Archduke Ferdinand and his wife were in Sarajevo, and they got shot and killed, and that precipitated World War I. So anyway, that one looks like a really good one that I wanted to read. The next one up is Extraordinary Ordinary People by Condoleezza Rice. Rice excelled as a diplomat, political scientist, and concert pianist. Her father, John, was a minister and educator and instilled a love of sports and politics. Her mother, Angelina, was a teacher and developed Rice's passion for piano and fine arts. So anyway, I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to read. It doesn't matter what your political persuasion is. I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to get her point of view. So anyway, it just looked really interesting. So, and then the life. I have the biography written by Charlotte Bronte's friend Elizabeth Gaskell. I read Gaskell for the first time this year. I read North and South. And it was all right. Anyway, and this is her biography of her friend Charlotte Bronte. So I really, I don't know if I'll get to this because there's a couple of other books that I really want to read too. So, but we'll see how far I get with that. And then this, Audrey, Her Real Story by Alexander Walker. And I'll read a little bit from the beginning. Children have no enemies, although her heart told her so. Audrey Hepburn's memories of her own childhood denied the truth of this. When the subject used to crop up in interviews many years later, she usually said as little as possible about it. or found means of diverting her interrogators' curiosity into other channels. Even when close friends, she was reticent, and there were things in her childhood that people might find difficult to understand. So anyway, I'm a big fan of Audrey. I love her movies. She grew up in Holland in World War II, and there wasn't a whole lot of food and stuff when she was growing up there. It was terrible, terrible conditions, and and I guess she worked a little bit for the Underground Railroad. I think she was like 16 or something. I don't know, I'll have to read more, but I believe that's correct. She was like 16, and she would do what they call silent performances. Nobody would clap, but they'd watch her performances and stuff, because they didn't clap or make any noise because they didn't want to be found out by the Gestapo or anything, or somebody that would turn them in. So anyway, Audrey. And then this one I want to read. JonBenet, The Ramsey Murder Investigation by Steve Thomas with Don Davis. I believe Steve Thomas was an actual investigator on the Ramsey case, and so it'll go kind of like in depth into the investigation. And it looked just really kind of interesting. So I really wanted to read that. So I definitely want to read this. I want to read Audrey, The Assassination of the Archduke. Yeah, because it'll tell me a little bit more about how World War I started. I mean, I know a little bit, basically, because they had all these different countries and they had treaties and stuff and saying, hey, if we ever go to war, you'll back me and whatnot. And when they shot these two people, it kind of threw all this world into a tizzy, all of Europe into a tizzy, and started World War I. So it just looks, I don't know why, it's just fascinating. It's going to be a little bit sad, but I just think it'll be really fascinating. So I want to read this one, the Condoleezza Rice, and the Audrey one for sure. I want to read those. And Under the Flaming Sky, which looked really, really good. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will write the names in the description, write the names of the books in the description for you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any comments or read any of these books, please let me know. Yeah. All right, have a beautiful day.